2016 is how far away? And Hillary Clinton is already on the move. Today she met with Vice President Joe Biden. Yesterday she met with President Obama at the White House. Meanwhile, we're learning that Ready for Hillary, the super PAC with close ties to Clinton confidants, has already raised $1.2 million during 3 months, its first full quarter of active operations. So that, of course, leads to the question, is Hillary trying to mark out her territory for 2016? Everybody reads into everything that Hillary does. If she goes to the movies, everybody asks what movie she's going to see and how does that impact the race. Mary Alice, I assume this is the beginning of the process for 2016?
I think it began about 3 years ago.
Yes.
I do. And,
Yes.
and her daughter and her husband are both saying, in spite of her her fall last fall, was it? That she is vigorous and healthy and with sharp mental acuity and fabulous and ready. There's a documentary coming out about her that was done by CNN. There's a mini-series produced by NBC about her life. There is no stopping this one. She is a field clearer, I think.
I don't know that her territory is being marked out as much as people are being reminded. There's the territory for Hillary is the entire country. She's the next president if that's what she decides she wants to do.
But it's sending messages to other politicians, other Democrats out there, stay out of my way.
I think it's a reminder that it's sort of rolling into 2016, and this is being a bit grandiose. It's her world, and the rest of us are just living in it. You know, she got 18 million votes. You know, she lost in 2008 to the only person she could have lost to. And I think that she learned important lessons from that.
And the stars were aligned. You have to remember, they were aligned, identical, exactly the way they should be for Barack Obama. Who would have ever thought an African-American candidate would defeat a Clinton? Think about that for a second. So you had history in the making, the first black, the first woman. Do you really think she was going to get over that, or anybody else would? The deal was cut the day that she joined the Obama administration.
Well, and that's my next question, because you meet with Obama, you meet with Biden, not only are you going to get headlines, but immediately there's going to be talk of whether there's some quid pro quo going on here. What was the deal? Do you think there was a deal? What was it? Was it? I don't think there was. Did it involve Bill? You think Bill Clinton just willingly jumped into the race in 2012?
You would be surprised, has been my limited experience, that you'd be surprised how few things are actually said. That you go into situations with a general understanding that all things being equal, we hope it works out this way. There are no deals, there are no conversations, they don't even hint at it. You just move forward.
In 2011, I talked to people who were very close to Hillary who said, she's not going to run, get over it, get it out of your mind, it's not happening. And that was 2 years ago. So I don't think there was any deal cut out. Let me ask you, because you know how these things are timed. Everybody makes their decision in the last 2 weeks. Are we talking about this too early for her benefit?
I think, again, nothing's ever just one thing. I think John Kerry being out there discussing Mideast peace talks or the possibility, and President Obama saying, I'm going to come to the table when the negotiators are there, her being in the news diminishes Kerry as her being the former Secretary of State and him running around the country trying to make something happen there. I think it's a lot of things. It's about foreign affairs. It's about the presidential election. It's about.
But Dominic, 2008, Bill Clinton, not exactly pals with Barack Obama. Even after he beat Hillary in the primary process, you didn't see much of Bill Clinton heading to the general election. 2012, they were best buds. Do you think there was a deal, or there must have been something? Otherwise, why does Bill come back in?
You do the math. You do the math. Hillary loses to Barack Obama. I was there, and I remember with some of her closest advisors. Here are some of the things they would say. They would say, Dominic, we just don't know how to go after Obama. If we criticize him as the only black candidate, it's going to turn off the Democratic base. We're just hoping that this guy just goes away. Guess what? Barack Obama was not going away. Next president of the United States, Bill Clinton, cuts a deal. Buddy, you're sinking. You're talking to President Obama. You're sinking fast. I'm the only one that can save you and get you reelected. Bill Clinton steps up, gets Obama reelected. Now, what about my wife? What's the rest of the deal?
I never think it's that overt. And I don't know that what happened in 2008, although Hillary lost to the only person she could have lost to, historically, in a broader narrative, the vote was extended to African Americans before women. It's not a huge surprise that an African American became president before a woman, and now a woman will be president.
I was shocked.
But as for 2016, start the clock. How long until Biden goes to Iowa or New Hampshire? And then we'll get a sense of whether she's clearing the road.
There are 3 powerhouse governors who are also in the wings and might
Marty
be
O'Malley,
considered.
Andrew Cuomo, and
I'm thinking of John Hickenlooper in Colorado, who's extraordinary. Deval Patrick in Massachusetts. These are and
But
then
they may
Andrew
be
Cuomo.
strong governors. I don't see any of them as serious contenders for the nomination. I really don't. This is Hillary's.
No, vice president. We're talking
Oh, okay, vice president.
No,
okay, agreed.
I have to, by law, it's been 5 minutes since we mentioned his name, so I have to get back to Anthony Weiner. Bill and Hillary Clinton haven't come right out and told Anthony Weiner to get out of the mayoral race, but several former Clinton aides say they increasingly see Weiner's mayoral run as an embarrassment and a potential liability. One Clinton associate said the Clintons are, quote, bristling at the comparisons between Hillary and Huma and Bill and Anthony Weiner. According to Fred Dicker of the New York Post, Weiner and his campaign aides have explicitly referred to the Clintons as they privately seek to convince skeptical Democrats that voters can back Weiner despite his online sexual antics, and this just as they supported then-President Bill Clinton. That has reportedly angered the Clintons. Dicker names an unnamed top state Democrat who said the Clintons are upset with the comparisons that the Wieners seem to be encouraging, that Huma is standing by her man the way Hillary did with Bill, which is not what she did, in fact. What do we make of the Wieners and the Clintons and their relationship?
I think it's an unfair comparison, and I think that none of us should ever judge someone else's marriage. This is a young wife with a brand new baby. He's the father of her children. Leave her alone. She is brilliant. Probably smarter than Anthony.
I don't want someone judging my marriage from the outside, telling me or my wife what I should do. How dare you? Who are you? Who should I? I mean, do I have the right to tell you what you should do with your marriage?
what? Don't yell at me.
But there's a difference here, and that is, I mean, Huma has already been mentioned as a possible, with a possible role going forward. We heard that before with the Clintons.
She's been Hillary's body man for a long time.
We've had, and you have similar dynamics in terms of the marital strains. Why shouldn't we look?
Anthony's conduct is so outrageous. The more outrageous it gets, the easier it is to separate from any person or any situation or any dynamic going on in the saner real world. You know, the odder that gets, the easier it is to say, how could that possibly be connected to anything?
Andrew, the fact of the matter is, Anthony Weiner is no Bill Clinton. Let me assure you, Bill Clinton, when he walks on any level, he may fantasize and dream about it, but when Bill Clinton walks into a room, he magically stops a room, and all the focus is on him. I have never, ever seen that done with Mr. Weiner.
Do you think the focus from the Clinton camp is on what's best for Huma and Anthony, or do we think it's what's best for the Clintons?
With the Clintons, is always what's best for the Clintons. Period.
Let's also look at the messenger. You know, Fred Dicker's a powerful reporter, and I'm not angering him, I hope, in any way, but he's his own favorite anonymous source. And,
that's a good one. Fred, I didn't say that.
Who said this and where they heard it from and what's a top Democrat? And, who knows? It's an odd story.
You don't make up anonymous sources. That's no good.
Fred is a friend. I've always considered him to be one of the best reporters in the state.
He really is very good.
All right.
Sure, yes.
Just leaving it right there. All right. Up next, the evolution of the sex scandal. Has Huma Abedin forever changed the equation by not only standing by her man, but standing up for him? And how much is the public really willing to forgive? We're going to get to that next. Stay with us.